In Washington today, President Biden is hosting India's prime minister for a state visit full of pomp and circumstance. The trip is a sign the world's two largest democracies are getting closer at a time of rising tensions around the world. NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli joins us now from Washington. So, Mike, why is America's relationship with India such a priority for the White House right now?
Well, Kathy, President Biden has been clear throughout his presidency that his foreign policy is really guided by this idea of strengthening and continuing to expand this alliance of democracies like the United States to confront both Russia's aggression, primarily in Ukraine, but also China's efforts to grow its influence throughout the world. And just a few minutes ago, as the president was speaking with the Prime Minister of India at a news conference, Biden outlined where he sees India fitting into that equation. Take a listen.
And today, we also talked about our shared efforts to mitigate the humanitarian tragedies unleashed by Russia's brutal war in Ukraine and to defend the core principles of the UN Charter's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We discussed our work through the Quad and how India and the United States, together with Australia and Japan, can ensure the vital Indo-Pacific region remains free, open, prosperous, and secure.
Now, you heard the president talking there about the Quad. India is one of 4 members, along with the U.S., China, and Australia. That's an alliance that's primarily about countering China. And the president was asked about those comments he made just a few days ago in San Francisco, in which he seemed to refer to China's President Xi Jinping as a dictator. The president saying he does not believe that those comments have really disrupted efforts to try to repair the U.S.-China relationship, and that he expects to meet with President Xi in the near future.
And Mike, we should point out the U.S. and India do have their disagreements on a number of issues. So what are they? And how is President Biden, addressing them?
Yeah, you can hear probably behind me, just outside the White House, some of the protests that have been going on, really questioning India's commitment to democracy, to human rights under the Modi administration. And that was really the crux of some of the questions. And it is notable that to see India's prime minister taking questions from reporters. He does not often do that. He was asked about India's commitment to democracy, and he said democracy runs in our veins. President Biden saying that, yes, there have been some concerns with India, but that as partners, as allies, they have these conversations directly, forthrightly. They speak straightforwardly together. And so it'll be interesting as Modi now travels to Capitol Hill to speak to lawmakers, some of those Democrats who are boycotting it out of concern for Modi's human rights record.
Yeah, the visit not without some controversy. Mike, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.